Hello you guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is for the women who want to work out or have been working out for some time and yet they still feel discouraged because they do not look like the fit-fluencers that they are inspired by. They feel discouraged by the unachievable body standards that social media just keeps promoting. So let's get into this video. First and foremost, I am a coach. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I have certifications in nutrition, specifically dealing with reverse dieting, muscle gain, and fat loss from Lane Norton and Bill Campbell in Clean Health. Before that, I was a physical therapy assistant, and I would work with people to rehab after injuries and get them to a place of functional ability and also help them return to whatever kind of active lifestyle that they may have had before their injury. So I have a lot of experience working with people in person on fitness and wellness and functional ability. So back to the topic at hand, you guys. You may follow their workouts, you may copy some of their nutrition, but you'll never look like your favorite fitness influencer unless you yourself become a fitness influencer, because it takes your life to do it. It means you have to dedicate your life to fitness to look like they do. That's honestly because there's so much that goes into what a person actually looks like, from genetics, from anthropometry, which means like your bone structure, things like your waist to hip ratio, your skeletal muscle, and how it actually appears on your body. For me, example, I seem to have a shorter attachment in my quads, and so my quads pop out more than someone else that has a longer attachment in their quads. Their quads look like longer and leaner. Limb length, which still affects the way your muscles look. Metabolism, the actual muscle mass that you have on your frame. Their training, nutrition, and of course, overall lifestyle balance. There is so much that goes into it that you are not always getting to see. The thing is, fit-fluencers are telling you that you can be 16% body fat, super jacked and lean, and look like them if you follow their training and maybe dabble in their nutrition if they offer that, or just by eating healthy. Since they look that way, they must know what they're talking about, and if you follow what they're doing, you're gonna look that way. It's simply marketing, and they're capitalizing on their bodies and maybe their stellar genetics or their really restrictive eating, nutrition, training protocols, etc., etc. And I don't think that there's anything wrong at all about capitalizing on one's body. The problem is that it is their job, it is their career. Your lifestyle income depends on the way that they look. So in a lot of cases, they're going to push themselves and do whatever is necessary for them to get the advantage, so that they get a presence, so that they get attention, and thus followers and sales, etc., so that they make a living off of their body. They need to do whatever it takes to stand out more than someone else, to have the biggest booty, to have six-pack abs and like no fat. Obviously not no fat, but very low fat as a woman. And they're just willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And sometimes that means working out 5 to 6 days a week with 2-hour workouts, implementing resistance training and having a cardio routine, and also having very specific nutrition plans and goals. And sometimes they're dropping their calories by 1,000 calories to show you that they can lose all of this body fat in 60 days. When for most of us, dropping our calories by 1,000 calories, or even some of us, like me, who's a petite body type, I'm 5'1", even dropping calories by 500 calories can be quite unsustainable for a lot of people, because a lot of women are under eating in this industry already. That's a tangent, and I'm not gonna go on the tangent right now. So when your fitness influencer is dropping their calories by 1,000, and they're not necessarily telling you they're dropping their calories by 1,000, They're stuck eating like Greek yogurt, chicken breast, broccoli, like 4 times a day. There is hardly any diversity in the food that they're eating, and they are okay to eat like that. I've seen fit-fluencers eat some really disgusting, gross combinations, or people who are eating the Greek yogurt and cottage cheese for 3 meals a day because they are on such restriction. And then finally for dinner, they have a slab of meat and some little form of carb. Do you really want to eat like that? Most of us don't want to eat like that, and we are not willing to have such extreme restrictions on our food to be able to have a 1,000 calorie deficit and therefore lose like 15 pounds in 60 days. So a lot more women in this industry are taking drugs to enhance their physique than you think. And most of them honestly are just living their life to such extreme standards that a lot of people can't actually replicate it. It is not your job to become an idolized body type. You already have a job probably. If you're my age, you already have a career, or maybe you're a little bit younger and you're just out of university and you're starting your career for the first time. Maybe you are raising a family, or you are raising a family and you're going back to school. Yet social media just makes you feel like if you don't look like these fit-fluencers, if you don't have a super flat tummy with abs popping, a big booty, and no thigh gap, that you are now not healthy and not attractive. Both are absolutely not synonymous with one another. I mean, being healthy and being 16% lean is not always the same thing for a lot of people. For some people, sure. A lot of us, no. And it's also totally untrue that you are now unattractive if you have a little bit of tummy fat or cellulite or bra fat. It's totally untrue. You are not unattractive because you have over 16% body fat as a woman. So let's go through a list of fitness influencers who have come out about their disordered eating and in some cases toxic exercise habits that had aided in a certain physique, which in turn brought them success. And they're honest and transparent enough to talk about it. So people like Sarah Day, Alice Living, Steph Claire, Courtney Black, the KK twins. Even Whitney Simmons has talked about recently gaining weight after recovering from severe depression where she had been under eating. And so now she's just eating a more healthy amount and she's not quite as lean as she used to be. Even Chrissy Chella has recently opened up on her Instagram about also incorporating a little bit more balance and being more flexible in her nutrition and not nearly as strict as she had once been. Also with her exercise, she's not working out quite as much as she used to. And as a result, again, she's not as lean, but she's still fit. She's still healthy. She still has a beautiful figure, just as Whitney Simmons still has a beautiful figure. They do not need to be insanely lean to be beautiful. Neither do you. Now, I don't consider Chrissy Chella and Whitney Simmons as part of the problem in the fitness industry and the fit-fluencer industry. I always think that they have been somewhat realistic and have been able to include some balance into their food and nutrition. I've watched a lot of their vlogs in the past. So I don't consider them a part of like the toxic fit-fluencer culture, but they are still demonstrating how in the past their tightly controlled nutrition led to a certain physique, and now that they are a little bit less tight with that nutrition and enjoying themselves a little bit more and have a little bit more balance, they cannot uphold even their own body standards, their own physiques that they had once had. And that is okay. It also demonstrates how tightly controlled calories can lead to weight loss or fat loss, but it's not necessarily healthy. Now, I think it's brave that all of these women have opened up about the realities at the time and the extremes that they were going through to achieve a certain physique. I am not knocking them for it whatsoever. I feel like a lot of millennial women have had a very similar experience, and we are now, as like a culture, trying to heal from it. We just don't have, I think, enough people online, on social media, who are advocates. But again, that's why you're not going to look like them. They were pushing themselves to unhealthy boundaries, physically and mentally, to achieve a perfect physique. You do not need to sacrifice your mental health just to have the flattest tummy possible. We need to normalize women's bodies, please. It is normal and healthy for women to be 20 to 25% body fat, and that still makes them fit. That still makes them like lifestyle lean. In other words, they can still have balance between fitness routine, but also social events, and have more flexibility with their nutrition. Social media decides to bombard me with ultra fit physiques, and there's no context for these physiques. And a lot of them, you have no idea what the person is actually doing. I brought this up before, came across someone who said that they are eating 2,800 calories as a girl who doesn't cut in bulk, and they are insanely ripped and insanely lean and close to my height, and I do not believe that they have achieved that physique without cutting and bulking unless they are doing drugs. And again, they are spreading misinformation to people that you should be able to eat 2,800 calories a day and look like them and be super ripped and lean. Whenever you start to increase your calories, at some point you start to gain body fat. If you're resistance training, of course you are starting to build muscle, but you are putting on body fat in that process. There is no way that she looks like that without either cutting and bulking in the past, or again, without taking drugs. It is so insanely misleading for the majority of people. I can't imagine how discouraging it is for people who are not educated in fitness and nutrition, for them to look at these bodies all the time as inspiration. That's okay, but then feel so negative about themselves and so discouraged that they don't look like those people after a few months of training or even a few years of training. Then they want to give up on their fitness because they haven't achieved the flat tummy, the six pack, the huge booty, whatever. And they totally give up. And that's not what fitness and health is about. And we need to change that narrative. And yet, women with these crazy physiques are being glorified by the fitness industry and social media because it makes money. It makes money for these people and for brands to highlight these crazy physiques. What's worse is that it's being perpetuated as fitness, as healthy, and as overall wellness. And I disagree in a lot of cases. They may seem like it's achievable and maintainable to look like them, when really a lot of them are implementing a lot of restriction into their lifestyles. I'm also not saying that every fit-fluencer on social media is unhealthy. Again, I actually think Chrissy Chella, Whitney Simmons, Megan Grubb even, and now the KK twins, also someone like GLJ Fit, I think that they are good examples of people who are realistically fit and also have balance in their lifestyles, and they promote balance and wellness. You deserve to partake in fitness because it makes you feel good, because it makes you have pride in yourself, because it helps you age better, because it helps with your functional ability. Maybe it helps you play with your kids. Maybe it helps you partake in a casual sport you've always wanted to partake in with some friends, like pickleball, because it makes you feel strong, because it makes you feel good about your body, regardless of how lean and flat your tummy is, because it puts you in a good mood. Maybe it helps you get from 30% body fat to 25% body fat, if that's what you set out for yourself. That is amazing. You are beautiful. You are beautiful without a perfectly flat tummy, without a huge butt, You're beautiful with some bra fat, with thick thighs. But more importantly, you deserve to feel healthy and continue your fitness journey without the pressure of needing to look like a fit-fluencer with 16% body fat. Okay, you guys, I'd love it if we could have a conversation about this, so please just leave me a comment. Let's promote various body types in fitness and what is fit and healthy. We need to change what the stereotype of that is. Okay, love you all. I will catch you in the next video.